Welcome into Top Dogs here, Week 13, NFL edition. Mark Zeno alongside Jeremy Kahn as we get ready for some stuffing and some Thanksgiving and some turkey. Obviously, I'm on location. I'm at my parents' house in New York, Jeremy.
New York.
Yeah,
I'm on location too at my house.
Which is not in.
We're both in a location.
We're both in a location. Anyway, we want to wish you guys a very happy Thanksgiving. We appreciate you guys watching all season long. As Jeremy and I go through Top Dogs, make sure you guys go to our premium pages. To keep telling you, put us together for a good 3-day pass, 7-day pass together. It's the best value you can get on Pick Dawgz. So we've done pretty well the last couple of weeks here on the show. Just want to give you guys a lot of good information. Of course, we'll have a show best bet for you guys as well. But with the early schedule this week and Thanksgiving, 3 days on Thanksgiving, Black Friday, and everything else, we wanted to get the show out to you guys as soon as possible. So let's just dive right into it here, Jeremy, as we get started. With the Thanksgiving games as well. We got 3 of them there. We're going to talk about 2 of them. We'll pass Green Bay and Detroit, which is an interesting. I'll tell you this much: I think Green Bay is a decent teaser option, but I don't love Jordan Love on the road, so I'm not even going to get involved in that game. But we are going to start with Kansas City and Dallas. We see Dallas a 3-point home dog again, just like they were against Philly, where they pulled out a win last week. Dallas was on my card last week as part of a teaser option that went well. So. I thought they were going to win the game outright, but, I found a way to move the number to 9. I was certainly happy about that. But I think, my first initial reaction is with the total sitting that high, I'm like, this has got to go under, right? Like that we're just overinflating this total. I mean, the Cowboys defense, I don't necessarily know is that bad. I think it's much better at home. The Chiefs offense isn't exactly trustworthy as far as putting up close to 30 points in a game. And I know their defense is the one unit that you kind of can trust with them. So that was kind of like my first thought here. I would not play the Chiefs, period. That much I'll tell you. I don't know if this game will make my card, but I would not play the Chiefs.
Yeah, you and I are in the same boat there because I'm even seeing a lot of 3.5s now. And if that's the case, I'm loving getting the hook with the Cowboys at home. I think that's where I would lean. It is funny the way you talk about the total because the Cowboys have been better against the run. And I'm wondering if is it a bad idea to turn Kansas City into a one-dimensional team throwing the football like they used to back in the day. And then on top of it, it looks like Pacheco's coming back. So what type of hybrid running game are we going to see? The one thing Kansas City's done, they took Jonathan Taylor away from Daniel Jones, and that's why they won that game last week. They battled back. They out-yardaged them, if that's even a word, like 2-1.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's tough to know. Like Kansas City, here's the thing. Like they've never been in this position before. Every game they play feels like an elimination game. They lose one more game, it feels like their chances of making the playoffs are just next to 0. And we'll talk about a game later on in the show here where I think it's an elimination game for the postseason. But the point simply is like I just they're hard to trust right now. Kansas City offensively, like I'm not laying points to them. If I get them as a dog, I'm a lot more interested, but right now I'm not laying points at KC, so I certainly lean Dallas here.
Yeah, especially on the road. I'm not laying points with them on the road because this isn't the same Kansas City team I've seen. And, I know Pat Mahomes is excited to be playing on Thursday, but come on.
I forgot to bring the screen up.
That's all right. There's the numbers.
There they are. There it is. You can see everything there. 2.5. Okay. I'm like, what are we missing here? Wait a minute. How come the thing is not up there? And I forgot, like I was supposed to be doing something else. Anyway, I'm already thinking about turkey. So we are in lockstep there at Dallas or pass. And again, if we get a 3.5, Dallas is a much more amenable spot to fire. I know it's non-traditional, but if you wanted a Thanksgiving Day tease, there's plenty of options there. And I would put the Cowboys in one of them. I don't know if some of the offshore books will do a 3-team tease and give you plus money for it, which I may do on Thanksgiving with Green Bay, Dallas, and Baltimore, which is the next game we're going to talk about here. I think that's viable. But anyway, let's move on to the Ravens and Bengals. Ravens -7 here, total of 51.5. Joe Burrow expected to play in this one. You and I are in lockstep here. Like this number probably should be closer to 10. I think that there's an overinflation and an overreaction to Joe Burrow coming back in this game. Guys, Joe Burrow is not going to stop the Bengals defense from giving up 35 points in this game. And that's the biggest problem. So, he might be able to score close to 30, but there are 2 things. One, I think the Ravens defense is better than it's been in weeks. It's getting healthier. And, for a Ravens offense, my biggest concern is that the Ravens offense has kind of been a little bit lackluster. Like they've struggled the last couple of weeks. And maybe this is the breakout spot. This is the Ravens at home at night. Remember Joe Burrow in the beginning? Remember Joe Burrow in the beginning of the year? When are we gonna get one of these games at home? Little bitch. Okay. Anyway, so I like the Ravens here.
Yeah. So with this play, I mean, I've been doing this with a lot of I call them island games. I know we have 3, but like Monday Night Football, Thursday Night Football, I'll throw in a bunch of prop plays. I have 6 prop plays in this game, and I'm going to tell you 3 of them right now and why I think the Ravens win this game.
Are these premiums?
These are freemiums, all tied into Isaiah Likely. Isaiah Likely over his yards, over his receptions, and an anytime touchdown. I went to this last week.
Wait. You think those are very likely to hit?
Yes. Almost exact. Almost. It's a definite possibility. How about that? We had an argument over what the hell that means.
Better than likely with likely, but almost a possibility.
So let me throw a couple things at you real quick. Cincinnati's defense is historically bad. They have the worst DVOA in NFL history. This is arguably the worst defense I've ever watched in the NFL, my 25 years doing radio.
Would you say their defense is offensive?
Yes. And I would like their execution, all of them on the field to be executed. One of the things I've noticed, Cincinnati is the worst team in the league against tight ends. And if you go back to that Thursday night game, look at what Pat Freiermuth did to those linebackers that were trying to – their linebackers are so slow, tight ends eat them up. And I think it's the perfect week for Likely because they were targeting him last week, and Lamar just didn't get the ball to him. I think he's going to get his 5 or 6 targets in this game. He'll catch a couple. Those guys can't – I love his yardage prop to me seems like a lock. He's getting that number. So I love that. The Ravens are going to win this game. We talked about it. This should be a 10-point spread. I think the Burrow effect. You're getting the worst defense in NFL history, in my mind, on a short week. Yeah, come on,
man. Seems very favorable, if you ask me. I don't disagree. Again, I like the Ravens here in this spot. I think they roll rather handily, and the nail gets put in the coffin for the Cincinnati Bengals. Right on to Black Friday. Bears and Eagles, same number here at -7, total 44.5. Boy, does this feel like the get right spot for like everything is going to autocorrect right here. The Eagles are going to autocorrect as the best team in the NFC and look like it once again. And the Fugazi Chicago Bears, the fraud, phony, fake Chicago Bears, who are not a first place team, who are barely a playoff team, yet somehow keep sneaking out all these close, crappy-ass wins and have a negative point differential, Jeremy, are going to be exposed.
I don't disagree with you here. I mean, my play is going to be on the total, but if you're asking me to pick the side, I think the Eagles are the right play. It's kind of tough coming off of that loss where they give it up. And look, that's a nationally televised game. This is the perfect time to bounce back on a Friday afternoon. What else are you doing here? So I think there's a ton of college football games, and this one is smack dab in the middle of everything. Black Friday is going to be an awesome day. If you're betting the side, I think the Eagles.
Why, are you shopping?
No, I'm working because the Ravens play Thursday night, so it's great.
Oh, look at that. Yeah, good job. Okay. Oh, just checking it out. But yeah, no, I tend to agree that, it's going to be a good game. But I just think at this point, like especially after the Eagles take that loss on the road, they're back home. Like everything seems to have lined up perfectly here for the Eagles to take a pound of flesh out of the Bears' ass.
Is that where they get it?
I think so. That's where I would get it from.
I think I got more than a pound of flesh on my ass.
It's kind of like the bear in Great Outdoors.
Oh, when they blew his ass off.
Yeah. Oh, right in the
666
times.
I'm done. There's still meat on that plate. That's gristle.
There's nothing but gristle and fat. He's still not done yet. You think we can get a dessert down him and a couple of Paul Bunyan hats for the kids?
It's great.
Great movie. All right. Moving on here to the Colts and Texans. Interesting. I've said this for weeks now about the Colts that, they feasted on bad teams in the earlier part of their schedule as they were supposed to. And what happens once the Steelers game got there? They lost. Theoretically, probably should have lost to the Falcons if they were better coached and executed better down the stretch.
Should have lost to the Broncos.
Right? They lose to the Chiefs. Now they're starting to get – now they're back home, okay?
But they should have beat the Rams. If A.D. Mitchell doesn't drop that ball on the 1-inch line, I think they probably win that game.
That was a road game, though. They haven't lost a game at home this year, including the technical home game they had in Germany or whatever the hell they played that game overseas. But the Texans here it's interesting because do we believe in this team? I mean, the last 2 weeks they've won games with Davis Mills and his lengthy neck. The Texans are off a mini bye, right? They have the rest advantage here. It's the first divisional game between these two teams for the year. This is do you believe in the Colts game? If you believe in the Colts, you'll lay it here because it's probably the shortest number they've seen since the early part of the year. If you don't believe in the Colts and you're suspect of them, the Texans will be the side.
I think I believe in the Colts, but I think the Texans are a live dog here to win outright. I mean, all the things that you kind of listed there, the way that their defense is playing, we saw, not that you're given a blueprint by Kansas City, but Houston's going to come in. They're going to try to slow down Jonathan Taylor. And again, I don't know if they're going to do as good a job as Kansas City did, but maybe they come in and slow him down and force life to be a little bit difficult on Daniel Jones, and we'll see how he reacts. But the other thing about this, I was kind of surprised at the line when I first saw it, and then I'm going, yeah, I mean, I guess it does feel about right. I would take Houston plus the points here in this spot.
I would tend to agree. I would tend to think that Houston's a side I'd lean on. It just really boils down to how much do you believe in the Colts being a good team. And I don't know that we have a really good sample size for any of this. I genuinely don't. Like, I don't know that there's a world where we know how good the Colts get off the deck, right? Mm-hmm. Like, how do they bounce back from what happened? I mean, imagine if the Falcons were able to win a game in overtime, right? They've lost 3 straight now. How different do things look? I mean, it just, the Texans have won 3 straight. The Colts, for all intents and purposes, probably should have lost 3 straight. Like, do we believe the Colts are still better than a field goal, better than the team that won the division last year? That's the best defense in the league. And I'll tell you this much, to do what they did to Buffalo. And remember, 7 of those 23 points were a defensive touchdown. So their offense is bad. And it's I would just take the under here, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I think that looks good as well. But I don't know if you and I talked about it because the game was on Thursday. Maybe we talked about it after the fact. But Josh Allen's worst games have come against the Texans for whatever reason. And if you want to look at, I don't buy into, there's trends in certain things, and what happened in 2016 has nothing to do with 2025. The Texans have often struggled in Indy. I don't know that means anything. I think I should bring it up. But there's also that period of time where the Texans were god-awful. And Indy was just beating them up every time they came to town.
And it was a free win for the Colts on their schedule with Andrew Luck playing against the Texans, right? So that's always been part of it. But look, if you give me the best defense in the league and you give me over a field goal, but I still think the under is the play. I mean, particularly if what's the first? You know me, Jeremy. I like to cut games in half. I'm just curious here. What is the first half total in this game? Because that's going to be the more likely better half of when you're going to get the better defensive effort from both teams. Almost like the feeling out. First off, your defense isn't tired. The feeling out process of the other team, almost like a boxing match with 2 defensive fighters, where you've got some teams have their plays scripted and how things are going to go. But yeah, I agree with you. I think the under in the game is a good play, but I also think it's great in the first half. First half is 23.5. So as long as you don't get 2 touchdowns, right? As long as you don't get 1 touchdown from each team. If you get 2 touchdowns from one team, you're probably not covering. That's just the reality of it. But 2 touchdowns and 3 field goals still gets you to 23, right? Yeah. That's 5 possessions of the 8 possessions you get in a half, 4 on each side, somewhere in that range, right? Maybe 5, if you're not including 6, if you're not including a quick kneel down, whatever. But so the point is that they've got to put up 5 scores in 8 possessions, and at least 2 of them have to be touchdowns. So, that's kind of the math. But I would tend to think first half under is good. Game under is good as well. All right. Final game on our card here, which I think is an elimination game for the postseason. I genuinely believe the loser of this game will not make the postseason. I don't know if the Steelers will, even if they win this one. I don't know if they will, but I think that's this level of game. Just look at the match. Just look at the numbers. Yeah. Look, I can't believe you're saying it, because as soon as you say it, you're like, it's almost like sticker shock. You're like, what do you mean one of these teams? Well, because I don't think any of us really, or a lot of us don't think the Steelers are making it, except Steelers fans.
If you've watched the way they played, there's nothing that they've shown
Hey,
you to suggest.
Steelers going to the playoffs. Hey, Tom.
But when I looked at this, I thought Pittsburgh was the spot and Buffalo's the better team. I think I'm taking Pittsburgh plus the points, and I think Buffalo wins the game. But again, there might be some bias in there because I don't think the Steelers are good.
I don't think the Steelers are all that great either, and it's been so much fun since week 5 watching my Steelers to win the AFC North ticket just crumble and burn and slowly just disintegrate into nothing.
Yeah, I think now your cash out may have turned into you paying them to just get rid of the ticket. Here, you guys take some money. That's, like you look at that too. We talked about it.
Toilet paper.
We talked about it, man. It's like the way that everything's set up for the Ravens. Everything still has to go perfect, and their offense hasn't looked great.
I really should have cashed that ticket out if it was a legitimate option. Now that you think about it, like I wish I would have thought maybe I could. The new futures market is coming. Like I should have sold that ticket.
Yeah.
When they were 4-1, let me sell this ticket right now. That would have been a smart move on my part.
See what you can get, especially the way the Ravens looked.
Dear Lord. All right, but let's break this game down in and of itself. What do you believe about the Bills' offense against the Steelers? Because there's 2 parts here, right? So, I do the Westgate Super Contest, the one out in Vegas. I do it with a buddy of mine. And we had talked about taking the Bills. Let me go back to their schedule here. It was against the Buccaneers, right? And I wanted to lay it was a 5.5 or 6.5 in the game because I really like the Bills in that spot at home. And we ended up doing it. But he said to me, he goes, I don't know. The Bills have problems, man. They just don't look as dominant anymore. Like after the first 5 weeks when it looked like they were going to win everything, they don't look as dominant anymore. And I'm like, and 12 minutes into that game, like in the second quarter, I'm like, you're right. The Bills have problems. Like this is not a good spot. And so I wonder overall, 1, about the Bills offense against the Steelers defense, and 2, the Bills defense. I mean, 1, do we know if Rodgers is back yet for this game? I know we're recording this on Wednesday for everybody watching.
We don't know, but the algorithms that I use had him up, and usually they don't have the guy up unless he's playing. But I don't know. It's like we talked about it. Does it matter though, or does it change your mind if he's playing or Mason's playing?
Not really.
Because I thought the Steelers' offense looked halfway decent last week, or looked okay at times with Rudolph.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think it matters. Again, Rudolph only threw for 171 yards last week. I mean, I don't know what that means to you.
Against the Bears, right?
Yeah, again, the Bears. And it was, with the 1 touchdown he threw, I think was in the 4th quarter. It was the last, and the Steelers got a defensive touchdown in that game too.
Yeah.
So I don't know. This offense should not impress you. I think the Bills are the right side as we talk through this. I genuinely do. Of course, would you co-sign buying the hook, taking it down to 3, and live with a push?
Oh yeah. If I'm confident that I think the Bills are winning this game, I'd buy. I'd take that. Again, for me, just full disclosure, I'm not betting this game because again, it just. Like the contrarian in me is telling me to take the Steelers, and my head is going, stop being that guy and just saying, hey, we're going to fade what everybody thinks is going to happen. And this isn't the spot to do that in. So I'm staying away from this game. But what you're talking about, I probably like that the best because I do think it's a field goal game.
Get the hell out of Dodge?
What's that?
Do we just take the over and get the hell out of Dodge here?
That's what I think looks more interesting is the total here.
Like in what world do both of these defenses not give up 20?
Well, have you heard former Steelers players talking about the defense saying it's the scheme? Like they've got guys out of position. They don't have there's no rhyme or reason to what they're trying to do.
They're supposed to be rhyming
and reasoning.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, tis the reason to be jolly.
I thought you were going to sing Hoopa Sing.
No. It's I was doing more Christmas Story. Tis the season to be jolly. It's
I watched that movie. I was upset when they played it on a 24-hour loop because as a kid, I looked forward to watching it every Christmas.
I watch it I put it on Christmas Eve, 8:00, and I leave it on the TV through the night. So in the morning, the first thing I see
Hoping for your Red Ryder BB gun?
Yeah, so for my Red Ryder BB gun. Yeah, it's gloriousness right there. So, all right, here I think we both lean Bills to win the game. The number certainly is alarming. Probably a stay away, but I'd look at the total for both of us just go over 47.5 here, as where we go for that game. All right, let's break it down here for our show best bet, as we've done every single week. We're going to get, because Jeremy is my partner here, and I know he likes it when things get exotic. We're going to get a little exotic here.
Nice.
We're going to look at a tease, 2-team, 6-point tease. Take the Ravens down to -1 on Thursday and pair it with the Eagles down to -1 on Friday, and cash your ticket before Sunday even shows up. I mean, you have to get me to a world where either one of these teams individually loses this game. The only way they lose this game is they turn the ball over multiple times. You're talking 2 and 3 and 4 turnovers and shoot themselves in the foot and give this thing back. Yep. Some people want to be confident in the Bears. How can you? There's a first place team catching 7 points. Like, that should tell you all. That's one of those spreads where it's like, oh, it's not a favor to us. They are telling you everything. It's why Oregon laid 9. It's why Texas Tech laid 9. I know we're flipping college here, but when that big of a number is coming up against a team that is at the top of their division, that tells you all you need to know, that the gap between those two teams is that big. And one side there's a reason they're heavily favored here. I don't think either the Ravens or the Eagles are losing. And we can get out of here with a 2-team 6-point tease.
By the way, I think Vegas told us everything we need to know about the Bears when they were almost or pretty much a touchdown underdog to the Ravens when they hadn't done anything. Yes. You know, like that team's coming in first place and you're going, wow, this team that has 2 wins on the season is now, you know, it just, there's something. I think the way to beat them is through the air, and I think the Eagles will be able to do that.
Yeah, and guess what? The Eagles' defense isn't broken. So the Bears, full of shit luck offense, excuse my French. It's annoying. Like, I don't like it when my numbers tell me one thing and the result keeps going in the other direction. That really bothers me, right? It's why, like, you and I put our numbers together. It's why we put a process together that tells us theoretically, predictably, what the outcome should be. And my outcome keeps telling me the Bears should be freaking losing games, and the lucky bastards aren't. That's because they're playing a bunch of bad teams who give them wins back, like the Bengals, like the Giants. By the way, did you see the Giants now have lost 5 games with double-digit leads?
I haven't, but that's very Raven-like.
Oh, by the way, I am holding a ticket for the Giants season win total over 4.5. They have 2 and have blown 5 double-digit fourth quarter leads.
It's almost like they're trying to blow them.
Then listen, every now and then it's nice to try to get blown, but
yeah, is it?
I don't want to know what you do with your social life. So, all right. Do us a favor. Go to our premium page. That's our free play, by the way. Ravens, Eagles, tease. Go to our premium pages. 3-day pass, 7-day pass. Start on a Friday. Get you through all the college football all the way through Sunday, or Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Get you the Monday Night Football. Pair Jeremy and I together. Appreciate you guys watching. Hope you guys have a wonderful Thanksgiving. We'll be back next week with our normal recording time. Good luck on all your plays this football weekend. We'll talk to you next week.